Once upon a time, Chase Claypool was a household name for fans of the National Football League, but now he's fading away fast, and he could become a memory very soon. This offseason, the Buffalo Bills signed Chase Claypool to what most consider to be a low-risk, prove-it type of deal, in what most would consider to be an ideal situation with Josh Allen at quarterback. However, Claypool never truly proved anything to anybody, and he didn't even participate in a padded practice before the Bills placed him on the injured reserve in a move that could very well end his season and potentially derail his career even further. Welcome back to the Bills Bunker. I'm Jake Varco, and today I want to talk to you about Chase Claypool, a player who it seems like a distant memory now that he was a household name, a player who he was attempting to make a comeback with the Buffalo Bills in what was an ideal situation, but now this might have been his last chance in the National Football League. It really could have been. We're going to talk about that in this video, but before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for content coming your way. I'll be at every home game for the Buffalo Bills throughout the season, and I'll be at some road games as well. So much great stuff about to happen for the Bills Bunker. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's talk about Chase Claypool. As we all know by now, the Buffalo Bills had a big turnaround at the wide receiver position this offseason, as the only receiver that they brought back from 2023's active 53-man roster is Khalil Shakir. There really isn't a clear-cut number one receiver in Buffalo, and that means a lot of players are competing for roles within the team. That's why the Bills signed Chase Claypool to a one-year deal. The Bills were definitely an ideal landing spot for a receiver that was hoping to rejuvenate their NFL career. And that's because the Bills have an elite level quarterback in Josh Allen that is without a top pass catcher in the mix. And that leaves a big time role up for grabs and a lot of opportunities to bring in receptions. And that was a big time opportunity for someone like Chase Claypool. However, Claypool's Bills career could be ending before it really even started, because the 26-year-old suffered a toe injury in training camp, and now he's on the injured reserve in a move that could possibly end his season, and maybe his time with the Bills too. Nothing is set in stone yet in terms of Claypool's time with the Bills coming to an end, but it's certainly trending in that direction. Chase will now either spend the 2024 season on the Bills injured reserve list, or he could reach an injury settlement with the team that would allow him to re-sign in Buffalo or to join a team elsewhere. A team could certainly swoop in and take another shot at Chase Claypool, because this is someone who has shown flashes of potential in the NFL as a former second-round draft choice that had back-to-back seasons with over 800 yards in 2020 and in 2021. But that was a distant memory now. And considering Chase Claypool might be best remembered for when he referred to himself as a quote-unquote top 3 receiver in the league, when he's now struggling to even crack an NFL roster, some teams might just not want to take the media attention that comes with signing him.
I feel that way when I'm on the field. I know for a fact I am not like the rest of the guys in the NFL.
Talk your talk,
I know I'm a top 5 receiver. I know I'm a top 3 receiver.
I love,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
keep going. Keep going.
Some teams just might not want the media attention that comes with signing him. Also, the most unforgettable play of Claypool's career came when he celebrated a first down with his team losing and the clock running with under 2 minutes to go. And this is a play that the receiver just looked lost in, because there's a time and a place to celebrate, and this wasn't one of them. This earned him a stern talking to on the sideline from Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, who was definitely unhappy about the situation, and understandably so. Claypool really hasn't been relevant in the NFL for quite some time now, as Buffalo is the 4th team he's been a part of in the last 3 years, after he had a forgettable stint in Chicago with the Bears and an even more uninspiring stopover in Miami with the Dolphins. In 2023, the former Notre Dame standout had just 8 receptions for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. That's a far cry from what was once expected to be a successful NFL career for Claypool. Now, After joining the Buffalo Bills in what seemed like the perfect setup for success, Chase Claypool may have just lost his last opportunity in the NFL. Let's not forget that the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Canadian Football League, added the Canadian-born wide receiver to their exclusive negotiations list in anticipation of Claypool making a return home to Canada, as they were hoping he wouldn't have a suitor in the National Football League. In sports, the best ability is availability, and Claypool, he hasn't been available for the Bills when he needed to be on what might have been his last opportunity in the National Football League. Sure, another team might take a shot on Claypool, but they'd also have to be willing to sign up for all the media attention that comes with him as well. And for someone who hasn't produced in the NFL since 2021, it really might not be worth it. Chase Claypool is someone that is really a polarizing figure. He is someone who had really 2 solid seasons to start his NFL career with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but after that, he fell off, and his fall off needs to be studied because he went to Chicago, really struggled to produce in the Windy City, and then he went to Miami, and he was irrelevant there. Now, the Buffalo Bills, he hasn't even suited up for them, and he finds himself on the injured reserve with a toe injury, and this could be his last shot. While this moving him to the injured reserve doesn't exactly signal the end of his time in Buffalo, it's likely that it does. It's trending in that direction, and it could very well end his career in the National Football League. But because it was an injury, maybe there's a team that signs him. Who knows? It remains to be seen exactly what happens with Chase Claypool, but I wouldn't be surprised if this does end his career in the National Football League. I said when the Buffalo Bills signed him that this would be his last shot in the National Football League because it's such a great opportunity for Chase Claypool to rejuvenate his career with Josh Allen at the quarterback position. If you can't succeed with Josh Allen in Buffalo, then you're not going to succeed anywhere. But he didn't even get to suit up for a padded practice. So do teams give him the benefit of the doubt? Because a lot of players, they wouldn't. But maybe because he's shown that potential in the past, they do. It really remains to be seen. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we hear of Chase Claypool in the NFL. And I wouldn't be surprised if when a team comes in and gives him one last shot. But we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that this is the end of the road for Chase Claypool in the NFL? Let me know. If you haven't yet, click like on this video. Stay tuned for more content coming your way by clicking that subscribe button. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be going to every home game this season, and I'll be going to some road games as well. So much content coming your way right here on the channel. I'm Jake Varco. Go Bills.